Hello, Neil Thompson here. Today I'm going to talk about green reading and why it's essential for you to become a good green reader, for you to make as many putts as possible. And there's basically three things with putting. One is, can you start your ball on the intended line? Another is, can you control the distance? And the third, can you read a green? So I know that Scotty Cameron has had lots of tour pros in his studio, and he finds that most of the pros will come and have a moan at him and say, hey, build me a putter that's going to make a load of putts. So he gets them in the studio, analyzes their stroke, and finds out most of the time that they can start that ball on their intended line. And so basically most of them can control their distance. So it only leaves one thing that causes them to miss putts. They really aren't the best green readers, which you think is quite surprising considering they're tour professionals. So I want to share with you some traits that will make you, or hopefully, these you may all do them already, but maybe add a few more traits to your arsenal of green reading skills. There's really about five traits that I'm going to share with you. Firstly, I think a very important one, particularly in the Birmingham area, is that the general topography or the terrain of the area. On this green, or this area around here, there's a ridge at the very top over here, and so the green is going to slope in this direction. If the green sloped against that the topography, against that slope over here, there would be a ponding issue on the side of the green over here, and that architect probably wouldn't be in the job much longer. So no question, the green is going to have a slope in this direction just because the general topography is going in this direction. Other things to look at is have a look at the grain. You can always, this is illegal by the way, but you can always brush your hand up on the green and then brush it down the other way. So the grain will always feel like it's a smooth surface, and into the grain will feel roughed up. You can usually be able to, rather than actually do your hand on the green, Bermuda grass, which is a local grass, you're going to be able to see that it's like a shag carpet. But definitely if you look down grain, it's going to have more of a silvery, like a gleaming surface, and then you look into the grain, you're going to see a darker green color. You're going to see a lot, just a darker color in general, more of a greeny or darker green color. Another thing to look at is always want to look at your putts from the low point of a putt. So if I was going to say hit a putt from here to a hole over there, the low point, remember the slope is going in this direction, is I'd walk over here to have a look at the putt from that low point. You want to try to look from behind the hole to see what happens in the final third of the putt, because in the final third that's when it loses its pace and that's where it's going to turn the most. And then finally, the one thing that I would suggest is, some of the best putters use not only what they use with their eyes, their senses, but they also use their feet as senses. It kind of gives them, they often walk up and down the putt, so it gives them a feeling in their feet of where the slope is. I think I've heard a story about Brad Faxon, who's an excellent putter, that's been blindfolded, and they asked him where what the line on a putt is, and he was spot on every time. So he can, he's a great putter just with his feet, let alone his eyes. So what an advantage that is. So sometimes you'll see a player walk up and down the putt, and they get a feel of that putt. A little thing I like to do with pupils is to get them rollerball. This, so what I'll do is I'll demonstrate this. I'm going to try to roll one over to the hole over there, and see if I can roll it close. I know I can putt it close, but if I can't roll it, then I need to improve my green reading skills. Rather than it's a putting issue per se. So anyway, let's see if we can roll this as close as we can, and using some of those traits. I know the topography is this way. I'll look from over there on the low point. I'll also get a view of the cross section of this putt, which is fairly flat, it may be a little bit uphill, and then the grain is going this way, so it will turn a lot at the end of the putt, because the grain's going that way, and also it's slowing down in the final third. Let's give it a crack. Not particularly my best effort. I didn't maybe allow for enough uphill. Maybe I should have walked over here and had a good look at that cross section of the putt. But anyway, it's something to definitely think about. And if some of you would like a hand on your putting, feel free to give us a call. And we do have a Scotty Cameron fitting day coming up at Ross Bridge this Friday, so we'd love to have you along. Thanks very much.